Empowerment of women in Indian society, a myth or reality? If we board a ship named Indian Women, a journey from past to present, then we will be at times very joyful and at times mourning. This is because women empowerment and the stature of women enjoyed with respect to other members of the society has encountered a lot of icebergs along this journey. One can say it's a sinusoidal wave having different values at different time periods and at different sections of society. In prehistoric times, women enjoyed considerably good position in this society because the society had division of labor which was situational. Example, a person might be an expert in a particular work and he assumed a leadership position irrespective of whether he was a man or a woman. Illustration of men with hunting scenes and women carrying dead animals and men nurturing children give us some insights into the division of labor. As the civilization progressed, different social institutions came into being. Though we see the worship of Mother Goddess in the Indus Valley civilization, we also see Yakshini along with it. The evolution of religion, caste, tribe, class, gender all had a profound impact on the stature of women, which at times reached abysmally low conditions, necessitating the need for empowerment of women. Access to education, political positions, professions, economic activities were largely defined by the scriptures. Women were given limited choice and chances to determine and define her way of life. Example, women were deprived learning Vedic texts and participating in Sabha and Samiti and similar political and administrative mechanisms were deprived in the later Vedic period. When can we say that women is empowered? Is it the day when a woman can easily roam the streets in the midnight as our father of nation Gandhi had dreamt? If this happens, what next? Can we say all humans irrespective of men or women are now enjoying equality in all terms? Or still, does there exist various tenets which need wider introspection? Let's ponder over it. Feminist Simone de Beauvoir in her book has said that when a child is born, it is biologically male or female, but gender roles are assigned to it through a sociological process. We believe man or woman, we become man or women from male or female through the process of socialization and nurturing. Gender inequality is one which necessitates the need for empowerment. Why can't gender be assigned a value neutral? The societal beliefs, value systems, customs and traditions have given a higher value for men over women. What are the reasons for this? On finding this, the solution and approach towards turning the myth into reality can become easier. In post-independent India, there were several attempts taken both by the society and the government for the upliftment of the stature of women by securing equal opportunities for growth, survival and development. The Constitution of India guarantees the right to equality and abolishes discrimination based on gender through Articles 14 and 15, making them the fundamental right. And also affirmative actions are prescribed in the directive principles of state policy, mandating state to take steps for women empowerment. It has given the highest honor to women by placing a fundamental duty on every individual to denounce practices that are derogatory to women. These are the foundations on which many civil society groups women's organizations and non-governmental organizations are functioning. In the secondary sector, it is the notion that the women are not fit for technical jobs and employing her would, would mean a compromise on efficiency, which is blocking access to these jobs. Even though the Constitution mandates equal pay for equal work, there is a gross violation of this. Here and there, we see many women breaking these barriers and achieving marvels. But how long can a democratic society boast of few achievements which are based on individual struggle and perseverance? The care economy concept is not yet accounted for. The number of hours which women work for which she is paid no wages is much higher than the hours of paid work. Domestic work and nurturing of children and care of family is not often seen as work, and it is not accounted for in GDP calculation, and neither is it paid for. If women want to venture out and excel, entry to many jobs are biased towards men. These stereotyping and prejudices are major hurdles which are well evident in the glass ceiling effect. Companies and businesses venture and portray them as champions of women empowerment by making women as their heads and managing directors, but often not giving proper decision making powers. Even in political participation and workforce participation rates, one can see the figures which makes us sad. Why are political parties not giving tickets to women but make election manifestos with programs of women empowerment? Is this the attitudinal challenge, or is it double standards, or are the women not willing to participate, or is the society not allowing her to participate? What can one say if just legal and constitutional provisions bring solace to this problem? The answer would be in the negative, because it is a social problem for which a host of solutions should come from the society. The attitudinal change, nurturing, upbringing can have an enduring effect in the empowering women. Example, in some of the Southeast and Asian nations, the socialization process is quite different from the Indian society. As quoted by anthropologist Margaret Mead in her study, in the above nations, boys and girls from young age are taught various skills by the elders like fishing, taking care of children, working, etc., which does not depend upon whether the child is a boy or girl. Work without such socialization and engraving of core principles of equality since birth, the legal provisions which are in favor of women empowerment will remain void, and the notion of empowerment will remain a myth. Example, one-third seats are reserved for women in local government bodies, though to an extent successful in bringing political participation, women are often shadowed by men, usually the husbands or fathers, in all the decision making process, resulting in panchayat patis. Though there exists anti-dowry provisions like punishment or imprisonment for dowry seeking, and big fat in Indian weddings are still prevalent today in the societal notion of seeing bride as commodity and men as owners of this commodity. Same applies to the Prevention of Sexual Offences at Workplace Act. Until and unless men see women as rightful inheritors of Mother Earth and realize that women have equal space for her development, despite laws and provisions, empowerment remains a myth. Poor indicators like low sex ratio, high maternal mortality rate, high suicidal rate of women at middle ages, and often more than increasing rape culture, commodification of women, often in media, poor workforce participation rates, less number of parliamentarians, and minimal presence of women legislatures, administrators in the government's bodies, police, army, and other services are are presenting as prevalent hurdles at realization of the full empowerment of women. For one of the largest democracies in the world, India cannot neglect half of its population. Promoting better access to health and nutrition, education, employment, political participation, and steering and stressing on the need for necessity of gender equality through school curriculum and through media, and making men work for an inclusive society will help in sustainable access towards empowerment. Example, the He for She campaign of United Nations is a good success story. Also, 1 billion rising and India initiatives like Selfie with Daughter, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, Asha for women health awareness, Sabla, Mahila Samikla, and standalone facilities for women self-help groups for sustainable incomes, marketing and branding of products from women handlooms, small scale industries, etc., are small steps in the right direction which are making the journey of empowerment towards a reality. Social innovations can transform the life of women, especially rural women, in a big way. Example, smokeless chulas invented by Priyadarshini Karve saved lives of many women who were choked in the smoke of kitchen. Biodigester toilets invented by DRDO, if extended to every household in rural areas, can enhance the health and dignity of women and can reduce the cost of violence on her. Such inventions should be encouraged and promoted. Collective efforts of the society are stronger and more effective in addressing the hurdles in the path of empowerment. From the age when women were seen as machines for giving birth to babies and nurturing them, to the age when Indian women are winning laurels and representing India globally in all fields, from the times when women were dictated to wear what men liked to, and to the time when women designers are in demand in fashion industry, women have had a time of up and downs throughout this journey. We would see many champions for women empowerment in India, many movements in which men participated enthusiastically for the betterment of women, from Raja Ram Mohan Roy to Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar to present day forms of collective action like We the Women and NGO. There has been a long and continued struggle towards making women an empowered citizen. Through the process of through the phases of darkness in the journey, the Indian women can positively think that the portrait, a beautiful one where equal relationships exist between men and women are working for the betterment of each other, is getting prepared in the dark room. Once the photograph is cleared from the dust of ignorance and inequality, she can no longer be a second grade citizen. The journey of the ship carrying the portrait is towards the reality of empowerment, though encountered with myths of icebergs. As the sun brings the knowledge to every mind, icebergs melt and paths become easier and the journey safer and faster.